the Jamaican Connection. Hey, this is DJ Keen. Join me this and every Saturday for the Jamaican Connection. The Jamaican Connection, chock full of information from my two co-hosts.
I am Dale Miller, and I'll be taking you on Jamaica Trail. Yes, I'll be taking you through the length and breadth of this beautiful island. Let's learn more about our country. Do enjoy.
Hi, I'm DJ Stevie Steve, bringing you the following presentation, Jamaican Gems. Jamaican Gems is a program that looks at top Jamaican producers and musicians.
Remember, the Jamaican Connection, this and every Saturday from 4 until 5 on UVC Radio.
What we're gonna do right here is go back.
Hello friends, and welcome to Sonny's Corner on UVC Radio with Sonny Zurich, otherwise known as DJ Crewman Delo, every Sunday between the hours of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. GMT. Do you need advice and counseling on how to move forward with life and overcome various life challenges? Send me an email today at sonnyscorner1@gmail.com. Sonny's Corner, as in Sarah Uniform, November Yankee Sarah, Charlie Oscar Romeo, November Echo Romeo 1@gmail.com. Get ready to dance to lots and lots of African music on Sonny's Corner. Sonny's Corner on UVC Radio. Trusted, dependable, and reliable.
This is America.
Peace on left, justice on the right. Peace on left, justice on the right.
This is America.
This is the reason Kaepernick was taking a knee.
Heartbroken when I saw that video. I almost couldn't finish it.
Abuse of power.
We gotta start making changes.
There's a virus in police departments across this country.
If I rule the world,
Cops arrest.
Good cops know who these bad cops are.
free all my sons.
You have every right to be angry.
Can you tell me why? Every time I step outside, I see my die.
You have no right to perpetrate violence on the very communities that you are standing up for.
A lot of people have been using my father's words.
That all men are created equal.
The only pathway to do this is through nonviolent means.
I'm letting you know that it ain't no gun they make that can kill my soul.
We will bring you justice, I promise.
But if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Start making some changes.
Whatever you want, whatever you need,
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Extra Straight Talk for today, the 16th of June, 2021. Definitely, you guys can hit us up right now. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you guys can definitely hit us up on Zoom on meeting ID 543-972-1652. That is meeting ID 543-972-1652. Likewise, you guys can hit us up on WhatsApp on 646-443-6970. Likewise, you guys can hit us up in the studio on number on 919-408-7455. And you're listening to Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio. So you know what? Enough of me right now. Without further ado, I'm going to go right ahead and bring in the panelists. That's the cool cucumber down in New York City and Sunshine. Unfortunately, Miss Wickham, she's not with us tonight. But nevertheless, I'm sure the show's going to go on wonderful tonight.
'Cause I'm the one. Just ask me.
Welcome all. Thank you, Rocco, for producing this show today. This is Sunshine. Thank you, everyone all around the world, for coming in and listening and tuning in and listening to another segment of Extra Straight Talk, where everything and anything can happen. Unfortunately, for professional reasons, Miss Udally from Barbados cannot be with us, but we are going to miss her, but we're going to go on. Show must go on. For me, a week today, it has been very, very hard. I also want to welcome our Facebook listeners. Like I said, I've had a hard day. I was not feeling too well yesterday, but today I am back. So for those of you that miss me, I'm back. Yes. We're going to have a great show today. And the weather has been beautiful so far. I have been enjoying the weather. I think that's what got me up out of bed. How about you, cool cucumber?
Welcome back to another episode of Extra Straight Talk. Like Sunshine said, we don't have Udally with us here today due to professional reasons. But nevertheless, we're still going to have a good show. And like Sunshine said, the weather has been good. It hasn't been hot. It hasn't been cold. It's just been comfortable. And that's how I like it. Yes. And I have some news.
And that is?
Well, remember how I've been always protesting about the vaccination?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
I hope it's not what I think it is.
What do you think it is?
You got your shot, or you're going to get your shot?
I got my shot today.
No, you did not.
Yes. I had a doctor's appointment, and he basically twisted my arm until I said, okay.
So how did it go? How was it?
I got my first shot today. I mean, the shot itself is just like a shot. But so far, I don't...
Amen. Now we pray. Now we got to keep it in prayer that everything goes smoothly like for everyone else. Okay, so which one did you get? Which one did you get? The Pfizer, the Moderna, the Madonna, or the
Pfizer?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you actually go? Well, you said you went to your doctor, because what I heard was that in Times Square, they had like an expired badge, and they called like about 899 patients back because they have to get reshot.
Well, see, now I'm glad I didn't hear that, because I would have used that as an excuse. No, not today. I even tried to, how about schedule me for another day? No, you're here now. Okay.
So he literally twisted your arm. He literally to the army. You was the angel. I believe you because mine has been trying to get me to get mine for the longest. And now my son finally went to the doctor today as well, just like you. And he said his doctor talked to him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because my son is worried about the fact that, he hasn't had a child yet. So the doctor says that he hasn't heard any cases officially on record regarding any low sperm count or anything regarding to that or any story related to that. So he's thinking very hardly about getting it, and he's telling me and he wants me to actually get it done. I've been kind of skeptical about it, just like you. So let's see how it goes for you, and then maybe I'll try.
Okay. I don't know about faith in the science, but I just know
to a certain extent. To a certain extent.
I mean, science does work, but then you have the other side. But then there's always another side to everything.
Yes. But let's think positive and let's continue on, and let's hope that every tale, because I got to say tale, because there's no facts to these, that is out there. It's actually fiction. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. Do you have? I heard you got another story for us, Cool Cucumber.
Yes, I was reading a story. Well, actually, it's funny that I had a Bible study, and the Bible study was about Jonah and the whale. And then this lady, she said that somebody had got swallowed by a whale. I'm like, okay, she making this up. She just wants the Bible study to be interesting. But then I read in the article, actually, a gentleman was scuba diving, and he felt something bump him, and he thought it was going to be a shark. And the animal opened up his mouth and he went inside. And he said he knew it wasn't a shark because he didn't see any teeth. But he said it was very dark and all he saw was veins and muscles. And some part of his scuba gear had fell and he had to get it. And he said he wasn't in there that long, but after a while, the whale opened up his mouth and spit him back out into the water.
It must have been the suntan lotion.
And this happened in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where he was scuba diving.
Wow, that is.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy. You get swallowed out of nowhere. All you see, first you see light, then there's dark. You don't see any teeth. All you see is veins.
That was the good thing. He didn't see no teeth.
Because picture if he would have been, I don't want to know because I don't want to know. But I wonder, how is it when a whale swallows you? Like, is it like a snake? Like when the anaconda swallows you? Is it something like that where...
I have no idea.
Like I said, I don't want to know.
I mean,
me either. That sounds. And I've been wanting to do that too. With my asthma and stuff going on, but I still is something on my bucket list that I want to do. But I don't know how deep I want to go anymore. Yeah, I don't want to know how deep I want to go anymore. I think I'll scuba dive right at the edge. And I say I did scuba dive. I'll scratch it off. But it's horrifying.
It's interesting to know. He said it was scary, and all he kept thinking about it was his wife and children.
Wow.
At least getting back to them. And he said I'm assuming he was only in the mouth part of the whale because he said he don't want to know what it would be like if he swallowed him and he had to go through his intestines.
Oh wow! And again, the question goes: it must be the same thing as the anaconda, because usually when the anaconda swallows you up, you stay in there until you deteriorate, and all that comes out at the end is the bones, is your bones, because they swallow you at whole, and they actually twist around your body. They break your bones in order to swallow you, because you must be they must be able to you must be able to go through their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrap you up and they break your bones. And once your bones are breaking, that's how they actually swallow you. And then you deteriorate in their stomach. And it takes, I think, I heard it was either 3 months or 6 months for that to happen. And they last that long without eating nothing. But I mean,
they're feeding off of you.
Yes. They've had alligators, crocodiles. They've had mooses. They've had deers. They have a tremendous wide on the side of their mouth. They can actually spread their mouth open wide, really, really big. I mean, to be able to swallow something that huge, which is bigger than they are, And I've actually seen videos where they've actually cut anacondas and they've actually brought people out and they're like dead, is not, I'm not gonna say it's exactly like the movies, but it's a lot like the movies. So yeah, it's horrible. So I'm wondering, not that I want to know, not that I want to find out, but um um wow, that's crazy.
No, I just want to hear the interviews that he's going to be going on.
Yes, I would love to hear
because they did say that his leg was broken, and I think he had a couple of ribs that were broken.
Wow!
But that was the only thing that came out. That's the only thing that happened to him. But I would love to hear when he go on tell the story.
Usually, when this happens, doesn't the whale usually knock you with their tail or something? Don't they hit you with their tail?
He said he felt a bump. So he didn't know what part, but he thought it was a shark. And he was scared that he was going to get eaten by a shark. But the whale just swallowed him for a little bit. And I guess he didn't like the flavor and he spit him back out.
Like I say, he probably has sunblock.
Well,
yes.
Jonah was spit back out as well. So yeah, he was blessed.
Wow. He's probably a descendant of them. He's probably a descendant of them. Wow, that's a story that he's going to be able to tell his kid. He's blessed. He is too blessed.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He could have disappeared under there, and nonetheless,
he's a descendant of Jonah. He's a lucky fellow. All right.
Well, we're going to be going on a short break. And again, we're missing a little portion, Miss Udally.
You know what? Before we go on the break, what are we talking about tonight? I'm sure the listeners are eager to know what we're talking about tonight. Yeah?
Yes, Cool Cucumber. What is our grand topic today, Cool Cucumber?
The topic today is a very interesting topic. And we also have a special guest to help us with this topic. The topic is arranged marriages.
Wow. Mm-mm-mm. In different parts of the world, arranged marriages. Great topic.
Yes.
And who is our guest for today?
Dr. Garish.
Welcome,
from
Dr. Garish.
India.
Yeah, thank you very much.
From India.
Greetings to you and greeting all the listeners around the world who are listening. Warm greetings to all of you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelt. What flight are we taking off on tonight?
We are taking on the arranged marriage flight, and let's hope that the honeymoon is sweet.
Let's hope.
All right, you're listening to Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio, the song that binds us together. Once again, definitely you guys can hit us up on Zoom on 5439-721-652. That is 5439-721-652. Likewise, you guys can hit us up in the studio on 9194-87455. Likewise, you guys can hit us up on WhatsApp on 646-443-6970. And I want to say special good evening to all our Facebook listeners right now. Thank you guys for logging on right now on Facebook, and thank each and every one of you wherever in the world you are and you're in tune into Extra Straight Talk right now. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us tonight. And the topic tonight, as you heard the panelists said, it is arranged marriage. So I'm sure y'all don't want to really miss that at all. So without further ado, let us get into this right now, and we're gonna be back.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together. You're listening to the greatest radio station on the planet, UVC Radio.
Join me, Wise Willie, this and every Sunday on UVC Radio for The Memory Lane Show with Wise Willie. Here, we will play music that will lift your spirit, warm your heart, and put pep in your step. The Memory Lane Show with Wise Willie. This and every Sunday.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
She wants it perfect. She wants a granddaddy preaching the service. Yeah, she wants magnolias out in the country. Not too many people. Save her daddy some money. Ooh, she got it all planned out. Yeah, I can see it all right now. I'll wear my black suit, black tie out in the back. I'll do a strong shot of whiskey straight out the flask. I'll try to make it through without crying, so nobody sees. Yeah, she wanna get married, but she don't wanna marry me. I remember suit, black tie, hiding out in the back, doing a strong shot of whiskey, straight at the flask. I try to make it through without crying, so nobody sees. Yes, you wanna get married. Yes, she gonna get married, but she ain't gonna marry me. Whoa, she ain't gonna marry me. No.
3 men, 3 locations, 1 talk show with a difference. Each and every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, UVC Radio brings you Tell It Like It Is, bringing you real problems with real solutions. Listeners are encouraged to contact the show at 919-408-7455. That's 919-408-7455. Each and every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Tell It Like It Is on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone. Join 3 dynamic women in 2 different locations in our program, Extra Straight Talk, where we will be talking and discussing everything and anything that has happened and is happening. We will talk about fashion, makeup, movies, catch up on the latest, tell a joke or 2, and even play some music. We will also, every now and then, have a surprise guest with interesting information or providing some input on anything and everything. On EST, you can expect the unexpected. If you wish, you can submit an email to us with your questions, ideas, topics to discuss, concerns, comments to extrastraighttalk@gmail.com or via Zoom or via phone at WhatsApp at 919-408-7455 or via twitter.com/radio_UVC. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together. It will be a great program. Don't miss it. Hope you can join us.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together. Definitely right now we're going to get into a clip. So the topic tonight is all about arranged marriage. So we just actually going to, it's actually 8:33 right now Eastern Time. Yep, so we're going to actually get into this clip right now about our arranged marriage. It's just a few minutes. I hope you guys bear with us. And then we're going to get back our panelists in the studio. So just hang tight.
During sex, I was crying and begging him to stop, but he didn't listen. Then he put his hand on my mouth like this. I couldn't breathe, and I was crying, but he used me anyway. And I just cried. My age is 8.
The practice of child marriage is common in many parts of the world. It's not exclusive to any particular religion or society. Despite laws that forbid it, long-held cultural traditions die hard. If the current trend continues, more than 100 million more young girls will be married over the next decade.
They were decorating my hands with nuts but I didn't know they were going to marry me off. Then my mother came in and said, "Come on, my daughter." They were dressing me up and I was asking, "Where are you taking me?" They just said, "Come, come," and then they performed the wedding.
Child marriage occurs in more than 50 developing countries around the world, and almost always results in the girl's removal from school. What families don't realize is that by curtailing girls' education, they're only perpetuating the cycle of poverty. Still, families do this for a number of reasons. Perhaps they can't afford to feed the rest of their children. It can create family alliances, and it often settles debts. Early marriage often results in abusive and even deadly consequences. As one Afghan policewoman told me, girls are routinely seen as family burdens, while their male counterparts are seen as kings. She was later murdered by the Taliban.
I was 7-8 when I was engaged. My father and his father, they wanted to exchange their children. That time I thought of committing suicide.
I was married when I was 7 years old. I always say God is punishing me for something.
One of the reasons that child marriage continues to prevail is the husband's family and the husband think that when they bring a girl into the family when she's so young, they can mold her to be exactly what they want her to be. And there is this sense that somehow the man is raising this child as his wife.
A good wife should be respectful of the groom's family because she's now going to live with them. We don't call a woman beautiful by her looks, but by how nicely she takes care of her house and her husband.
He was trying to have sex with me, and I was crying, and I kept struggling to free myself from him. He mocked me, saying, "Where are you going to go?" Then he used me.
I was a woman exchanged for someone else's wrongdoing. My father-in-law and my husband, they were all with the Taliban. My father-in-law took me out of the house to a mountain. I thought they would kill me or behead me. I did not think he would cut my nose and my ears. The blood came over my eyes. I didn't know where the blood was coming from.
My friends were not getting married, and it was only me, so I didn't like that. So when I saw my parents preparing the feast, I knew they were definitely going to give me to a husband. So I escaped. I was about 14. The person who gave me a ride, he raped me while we were on our way here. So I was devastated. I regret coming here, and I wish I had stayed with my family because the person who raped me didn't use a condom. And he introduced me to a broker who got me this job as a prostitute. After 15 days, I found out I was pregnant. I started getting sick. I struggled as much as I could and worked as a prostitute until I was 9 months pregnant.
In some cultures, there's this myth that by marrying young virgins, AIDS will be cured. Many times they start having sex immediately because they have no control over the situation. The husband is the one who rules. Older men who have sex with younger girls tend to have sex more frequently.
I don't know how children are made, but they get pregnant and they deliver a baby. They carry it inside their stomach. Then they deliver and it comes out a baby.
I didn't want to get pregnant because I was very small. I wanted to wait until I am old enough.
Is she worried that she won't make it through the birth?
Sometimes I think I will die.
Was she hopeful for any help, or is she worried about her future?
I have never got help from anywhere until now. I don't know anyone who will help me.
The good news is that rates of child marriage are going down. The problem is we don't want to wait 50 or 100 years for child marriage to disappear.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So let us end this clip right now. Quite touching. Very unfortunate. But you know what? We really hope a solution actually come through very soon with this child marriage thing. I mean, it's been happening for centuries, and you know, it's very sad. Unfortunately, in the 21st century right now we're living in, these ridiculous things still actually goes on in society. But without further ado, now it's about about 18 minutes before the hour of 9 p.m. So let me go right ahead and bring back the panelists in the studio. That's the Cool Cucumber down there in New York City and Sunshine down there in New York City. Unfortunately, Miss Wickham down in British Barbados, she's not with us tonight. We also have a special guest. That is Dr. Gary Sethi out there in Dargun, India.
Welcome to another episode of Extra Straight Talk. And like Rocco said, the clip that we listened to was very touching and very emotional. And we will be talking about arranged marriages and things of that nature. It's unfortunate that children have to go through things of that nature and the things that the proposed husband does to them, but we'll enlighten it with questions and information from Dr. Gary Sethi as well.
Yes. I concur with the both of you guys, with Rocco and you, Cool Cucumber. It was a very, very intense video to hear, and you know, I was to tears. I'm glad I had mute because I was in tears, especially when she was describing the part of getting married, how she got pregnant and the baby comes out like she has no idea, you know, and being a child, that's
very sad.
It broke my heart just listening to her voice. It really broke my heart. I was like, in the situations that life puts us in, I mean, it's not because it's not by choice, per se, that you're being thrown into that type of life. But hopefully, our guest, like Cool Cucumber stated, will be able to shed more light into what we just read, or the information we just gather from social media or a dictionary or anything else. Mr. He will shed some light into regarding our topic today. But yes, it was a very intense video to actually listen to. Yet along, I imagine just watching the whole video, it visually seeing it, because by hearing it, it really touched me. But yeah.
Dr. Garrett. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to advise our Facebook family, our like I said, our first segment, and our regular listeners all around the world. You can send us your comments. You can send us if you have a story, or of someone that has has been put into this situation. You don't have to say your name. You don't have to. They can just send us some stories, or shed light on any information they have, because this is not only going on in India, it's going on in many different countries
all
and
around
places.
the world.
Yes.
It was really, excuse me, it was really hurting, and it was very heartbreaking to hear this clip, actually. Well, this, unfortunately, this is due to lack of literacy, this lack of awareness. These sort of crimes, I can put it, are happening generally in the rural areas, actually, in developing countries. I'll again hit this word called developing countries, because there's lack of awareness, there's lack of, in a closed society where, excuse me, there's lack of education, lack of media, lack of all resources. So this is this ordeals where we could listen is happening in many parts of the world, where societies in a primitive nature. In fact, the topic we chose today is arranged marriage, and marriage is a very sacred word. Let's put it this way. So what we heard cannot be equated to marriage, actually. Let's put it this way. That's a crime. Let's put it this way. That was really amazing. So marriage is a very, very sacred term, whether you take in terms of any of the faiths in the world, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, for that matter, that's a very sacred term, because, marriage is actually symbolizes hope, love, and trust, goodwill. That's marriage. But what we heard, that's not marriage, that's crime, to say the least, actually. And criminals should be caught and brought to justice. That's what I believe. Now, talking of arranged marriage, a topic we have today in hand, actually. Although it's a very, excuse me, although marriage is a very, very, very subjective issue, but we're going to discuss in objective terms. So we're going to take in objective terms. And arranged marriage is also, if you go by Indian tradition, I'll tell you, because India, marriage is supposed to be a ritual in India. And going by the primitive Indian culture, actually, there are different types of marriage. They call it vivaha in Hindi, actually. The vivaha is the term which is in the Vedic literature, go by the ancient literary books, vivaha. And there are 8 to 9 types of vivaha. Means you could have arranged marriage, that you could know the bride and groom know each other, and they decide to get married. And then there's another type of marriage where the father chooses a groom for his daughter and get him married. So the whole list of marriage. But since coming back to the topic, which is arranged marriage and what actually it means. Well, arranged marriage generally are quite prominent in countries like India and the subcontinent, although of late arranged is like a love arranged marriage, we call it, because of late there have lack of they got with awareness coming up and with people getting self-reliant. So it's a very 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 a subjective sort of if I could put it, issue actually, which will be, I mean, if it depends on person to person concern, that will be very judicious for a person to decide if his or her aspect. But I always believe marriage is a very, very sacred issue, actually, very sacred institution. I call it my institution, where it is by the blessings of Almighty. It's not in arranged marriage, let me put it this way, it's not that the bride or a groom gets married. Actually, talking about the Indian subcontinent culture, it's actually the bond between the two families, the families of the bride and families of the groom. So it is actually a migration of culture. Synthesis of culture takes place. Fusion of culture takes place. In fact, I'll go a little step ahead in talking about marriages. In India, we have got different caste, culture, creeds in India. And these days, the good thing which I appreciate is we're having inter-caste and inter-religion marriage, which is very good in the sense that we're having a new fusion of culture. We're having a new spring of life. So let's put it this way, that marriage of late is bringing synthesis of culture. As you know, Hegel has put it, thesis, antithesis leads to synthesis. So there's a synthesis of culture is coming up.
Now, with the arranged marriages, you say there's two different types, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the type of marriage where the father chooses a husband for the woman and they get married, and like you said, there are two families that's joined together. I mean, the woman doesn't really know the girl, and the man doesn't really, I mean, the man doesn't really know the girl, and the woman doesn't really know the man. So do they eventually develop love for each other? I mean, how is it emotionally for an arranged marriage?
Well, actually, let's put it in the contemporary era. I was talking about how it evolved, actually. And now let me put it in the contemporary era. Now, what happened is, these days, they're very like social media and other media with the brides, for families try to find groom for their daughter, and it's vice versa. Even the groom father wants to find a bride. Actually, the family meets according going by Indian tradition and culture, and actually there is a sort of a before marriage there is sort of a meeting between the bride and the bridegroom, the family meet. But yes, to know each other after marriage. Then they know each other, actually. They come to know each other. But generally in India, it is sort of, you could call it arranged marriage in the sense that it's not that it is an enforced marriage. The consent of the family of the bride and the family of groom is also taken. It's not that. And that should be all about. Marriage should be by consent and by choice. I mean, because ultimately it's a question of life. It's not a question of a day or this thing. And marriage is a very, very, is a perpetual, you could call it, stay. So consent has to be taken. And it's that the family meets, the bride and the groom meets. And ultimately it's left to the bride and the groom to give their final consent that they wish to get married, and they go on. But when I talk of arranged marriage, it's the family, they actually search the groom or the bride for the daughter or son respectively. But ultimately these days in contemporary era, because there's a little demarcation when it comes to country in this contemporary era, where ultimately the consent of the bride and the groom is taken, but which was not that prominent during the primitive era. If I go to the pages of history and to the ancient times, I could call it the Vedic literature, Vedic times, that was not that prominent, actually. But of late, it's with advent of education, awareness, and many other aspects, things have come. And moreover, it's good to find that even girls are getting self-reliant, and they're aware of their rights, they're aware of things, and safe from groom. So it's on the mutual thing. I always believe one thing. any relation, whether it's we to go marriage or for that matter, friends, for that matter, family, children, or rest on mutual respect, strong love and affection, and strong and trust. These are the elements which are ingredient for any sort of relation anywhere on the face of the earth. It's not just limited to marriage. Since we're talking marriage, so we're going to focus on that actually. But if you ask me, any relation anywhere is smoothly working if these elements, mutual respect, love and affection, and strong trust are the key elements for the successful of any relation.
Absolutely, I agree. Anytime I've seen any type of movie or anything like that, that had the arranged marriage, it was always perceived that the two people really didn't know each other, that the girl was raised to make her new husband happy. So the girl's family would know everything about the guy and what makes him happy and stuff like that. And she was raised to make him happy. So is that how the arranged marriages are, where she's raised to?
That word, I'll quote, unquote, W-E-R-E were the case. Not now, actually. But I'll still reiterate that the advent of education, girls are very, and it's good to, I really appreciate that. Girls are very much aware of their conscious, of their future, and it's on nowadays, even an arranged marriage is held and should be held on an equal mutual platform, actually. It's not that one side would like to impress her. It should be mutual. And okay, it's arranged marriage, X, Y, Z, husband, wife doesn't know each other, but still, if they're living together, it should be with mutual respect. The bottom line is mutual respect, and respect will let love and affection develop there. So what you saw in the movies, yes, there have been lots, because Indian marriage is just, it's a quite big event, actually. We call it, my good friend Rocco, because he knows a lot about Indian culture. So you know about Dulha, Dulan, they put it this way, the Indian terminology. So, this is actually, it's a quite big ritual here. It's not just, you could call it a little limited hour ceremony. It's a big ritual where you have big feasts, big sorts of different ceremonies takes place. So it is like a spiritual with a divine blessing that believes that happen. But of late, I strongly reiterate that it's not that the girl is supposed to impress the boy. It's that both of them start together their life with mutual respect, with love for each other, and this is how it goes about, actually. And yes, I'll again reiterate, because of late, because India is having a diverse cultures, so of late there have been intercaste and intercultural marriages in India, which is good, because there are different cultures with different rituals and different norms, actually. And when those cultures have a fusion, there's a synthesis. And this synthesis really brings about unity in diversity, I could put it that way.
Oh, so now they're more open, and they're mixing the different cultures and different classes and stuff like that together?
Yes, they have been open, although there have been some reservations of late in some of, I'll tell you what, the fringe element is available everywhere. But when your core element of any country is liberal, is magnificent, then it doesn't hardly make any. Yes, there are reservations, and there are reservations with people who have primitive mindset, and let me put it there, with due respect to some of the countryside here, the villages. Now, in the villages or these, even that scenario is changing, and changing for the good, actually. In Hinduism, marriage is of a spiritual nature. As in Muslim, if marriage is a social contract. So, there are different aspects. But now, the good side, good people, inter-religion marriage, and even marriage of different faiths are taking place. Although there have been reservations, actually, let me put it this way. But on the whole, this is good for humanity as a whole, if I put it this way. But ultimately, it should be with mutual consent, that I always believe. That's the best way to go about in any sort of marriage.
Right. I agree that there should be some kind of mutual respect and consent between the two of them. I like I said, I've only known of what I've seen in movies, and I've always wondered, the emotional part of it, and how is the divorce rate in arranged marriage high? Because like I said, I always thought that they didn't know each other, so they had to get to know each other, and did they always stay married?
Well, yes, that's very interesting. When you don't know each other and you start your life, that is very interesting way. But yes, the bottom line is should be mutual respect. Mutual respect should be a key element when you start starting in an arranged marriage. The bride should have respect for the groom, and groom should have respect for the bride. And gone are those days when the lady is supposed to be working at home. I mean, nowadays, if the girl is talented and she has she should be encouraged to, and this is what is happening, to excel in her own field. And same goes for, I mean, it is basically complementing each other. That's the marriage to go about. I mean, complementing life which is a gift of God to mankind. So you complement this, and marriage is actually symbolizes hope, love, spiritualism, lot many things actually. And a lease of life actually this symbolizes. So that has to be in a very happy, very conducive environment. If any marital relation has to actually blossom, let's put it this way, has to be in a very congenial atmosphere. It should not be that one side is dominating the other side. No, it should be with mutual respect. Mutual respect should be the basis of any marital relation. Actually, one should respect each other integrity, each other's what do you call it? Each other your potentials, each other's. I mean, there should be element of respect should be primary for marriage, the success of any marriage, especially in arranged marriage, because there you don't know each other. So respect, that will bind, and respect, love, and affection. These things bind actually.
Absolutely, and also another aspect should be communication. As long as they're able to communicate with each other and able to express their feelings and whatever is going on in the marriage, that's always important as well.
Of course, communication is a very key key element. Communication, yes. It should be a smooth communication, because you want to express your mind when you're having. It should be, and that is again, I'll go to that. The elements which I discussed actually was trust, love, and affection, and most importantly, respect. That you're open to communicate. These are elements that encourages you. In the best word in English vocabulary is love, and after love, the other best word is hope. So these hope and love actually binds any relation, and marriage is no different to that.
Absolutely. At this time, we're going to take another station break, and we will be back with Dr. Garish and arranged marriages.
All right, you're listening to UVC Radio. This is Extra Straight Talk. Once again, you guys can definitely connect with us on 919-408-7455, or you guys can definitely hit us on Zoom on 5439-721652, or you guys can hit us up on WhatsApp on 646-443-6970 if you got any message, you got any comment for our panelists. So without further ado, let us take a break, and we gonna be back. I'm gonna play a song. You know what? I heard this song way back in the 1990s. This is a song by Apache Indian. It's a reggae dancehall music, and the title of the song, Arranged Marriage. So let's get into it.
UVC Radio.
We find one gal and to get married. But listen when they talk, tell everybody me want me arrange marriage from me mom and daddy. Me want gal, I'm from Jalandhar city. Me want gal, I said I sound equally. Me want gal, man to look after me. Me want gal, that says she love me. No, no for them I come over from all over. And who find them I know the bachola. Me said that hard the man we call the matchmaker. In Japan to find know the right part time of it. But our east and track our west and the north and the south to find which gal best. But the lies and me lie. Me African face know the Dada Raja. Me want a princess. Me want gal. I feel me Dada Rani. Me want gal. I dress up in a sari. Me want gal. Say Sony Lagdi. Me want gal. Sweet like jalebi. No, no for them are sweet and some are ugly. And some of them are maga mean chipatali. And some are mafi that are motikuri. And some do English tag no Punjabi. Said it, girl me like have the right figure. And inch your eyes man have the surma. And with the chunni kuta pajama. And talk the Indian with the patwa. Yeah, the time has come a man for the Indian. To find the right girl I said a pretty woman. But listen when me talk tell each and everyone. Say me arrange marriage and the tradition. Me want girl, I feel me arrange marriage. Me want girl, I said that me can manage. Me want girl, from over India. Me want girl, I take off in me lover. My way, me have to make sure say me is satisfied. Family them a meet is called the Milne Pure Sagan where they bring money for Apache. Then you have to me wife man call the Botti. And me have to tell she about Apache. Me no mind the way you do it from your respect me. And after the road fee bring me the sense. Me want girl, respect Apache. Me want girl, go bring me sense. Me want girl, oh me the seva curry. Me want girl, respect me mama and daddy. All the time everyone start cry. Cause the wife she a leave and she happy with by. Go to the in-laws, call the sorry. To start your new life in the next somewhere. So next time you a pass and see Apache, just say but I to congratulate me. But if we are you a pass and you want greet me, bring the love do the best and the butterfly. Me want girl, I'm from Jalandhar city. Me want girl, I said that's only Kuri. Me want girl, that says she love me. Me want girl, sweet like jalebi. I know me don't get married, say me start to worry. Me have to tell you something, man, would you help me about me arrange marriage? Me have a problem when it's the right time to tell me, girlfriend. Because the time has come, man, for Apache to find one gal and to get married. But listen, ragamuffin tell everybody me want me arrange marriage from me mama and daddy. Me want gal, I feel me Dada Rani. Me want gal, I dress up in a sari. Me want gal, say Sony Lagdi. Me want gal, sweet like jalebi. Me want gal, I'm from Jalandhar city. Me want gal, I said that's Sony Kuri. Me want gal, man to look after me. Me want gal, to make me roti.
UVC Radio brings you Friday Night Vibes with DJ G Fire. Join DJ G Fire for 2 hours of an eclectic mix of soca, reggae, dancehall, Afrobeat, and much more. Hot and mixed to perfection. It's the Mix Show with the vibes to kick off your weekend. So check out Friday Night Vibes. This and every Friday from 9 p.m. until 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Central on UVC Radio, the station with the vibes, the station that binds us together.
UVC Radio.
Are you looking for some adult conversation? Some R-rated content? Then look no further, cause Fantasy Freaky Friday with your girl Spice is here on UBC Radio. She'll discuss all the X-rated, and I mean X-rated content and loosen you up. So come on, let's explore our intimacy together with no restrictions. So check out Fantasy Freaky Friday every Friday from 11 p.m. Eastern Time to 1 a.m. Don't miss it right here on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Hey, want a little energy in your Saturday? Then join King Rocco for the Weekend Crazy Hot Mix. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on UVC Radio. Come prepared for great music and great vibes. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be mad. It's gonna be turned way up. It's the Weekend Crazy Hot Mix with King Rocco on UVC Radio. The sound that binds us together.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is the sound of binds us together. UVC Radio. Once again, you're listening to Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio. The sound of binds us together. With the Cool Cucumber down there in New York City and Sunshine down there in New York City. And we got our good friend down there in Daragon, India. That's Dr. Gary said. And also we got Mr. Oze himself out of Connecticut actually joined us as well too. So without further ado, let us go right ahead and bring back our panelists in the studio.
Welcome back, everyone, and also our Facebook family. Welcome back. Even though we never lost you, we kept going live. Mr. Garish, I tried to look up some information. I want you, if possible, can you correct me? I'm going to read something to you and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It says arranged marriages in India are long drawn out processes where finalizing the perfect match may take months and even years. Is this a fact?
It is a fact. It was a fact. What I'm telling you is gradually things are changing. You know, what you're comparing right now is comparing. There is a marked shift in the age, actually, times actually. With the contemporary age, it's not that even quick, but it's not even that it's going to take years or something. I mean, there's a little change in the contemporary age. This was the case a few years back, a decade back, if I can put it that way, actually, a decade back.
Okay. It says in typical arranged marriages, the parents decide every facet of the process and the prospective bride and groom just show up at the prearranged date of marriage. The parents send out words, though, that they are looking for a match for their child through their social circle, neighbors, and relatives. They might also employ the services of the local matchmaker Traditionally,
well, yes. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It says traditionally the matchmaker is an individual who keeps a database of marriageable individuals from the neighboring area. Once a match is established, the elders of the family first meet at a neutral place to talk and also to figure out the stability of the match firsthand. In these meetings, the families try to judge the financial and um, culture barometer of each other through direct or indirect talks.
Well, let me put it this way. First of all, the minimum age for, according to law, for a girl to get married in India is 18, and for a boy or man, you could call it, is 21. This is by law mandatory for having for marriage to take place in India. There have been some sort of relaxation in the tribal areas in India, and there's a separate tribal act for it, certain where the marriage act doesn't apply there, because we've got 1956 Hindu Marriage Act, because majority of people are Hindu in India. There's also a Muslim marriage take place, and there's a special marriage act if there is a marriage between a person from different faiths. That's called that, and marriage has to be mandatory registered these days. This is by law, actually. Let me put the legal perspective into issue. Actually, a 1956 Hindu Marriage Act is there. A Muslim, if there's intercaste marriage or intercaste interreligious interfaith marriage, then the marriage has to be registered under Special Marriage Act, and the minimum age for the girl is to be 18, the minimum age for the boy to be, or a man to be 21. Now you're talking about, yes, there are professional marriage bureaus in India. They actually, and yes, even the social circle, they look about it. As for the financial status is concerned, generally, these days, there's a whole lot of life is involved. So generally, the father of the parent, not only the father, parents of the bride are a little concerned that the daughter is going to be going to somebody whom they don't know. So for her well-being, they always look for a good that the person whom the daughter is getting married is financially sound, for simple reason that he's going to take care of her. Because it is believed that according to primitive culture nowadays, and I also believe, and it's always believed, that mutual status should be there. But in the status, not in terms of financial, mutual in the sense that self-reliant. Both of them should be self-reliant, and whatever they wish, independent. They should be independent to it. But according to the primitive nature, actually, generally the family of the bride is little concerned, because it's believed that the husband generally takes care of the wife, so he should be financially sound. So that aspect is also taken into consideration. Culture, yes, in the olden days, actually, culture was a barrier, because people generally preferred to marry not only in the same caste, even because talking of Indian culture, there are various castes and creeds. In India, and unfortunately, this practice is still prominent in some of the rural areas, but with the advent of education and other awareness, these days, culture is not that fact that is considered, actually. Yes, financial aspects are considered, and they meet at a place where amicably suitable. Now, earlier it was that the parents of the both the families, like the bride and groom family, finalizes, and they have to appear at a situation. But no, at present the situation has changed. Actually, the ultimate say has to be by the girl and the boy. They ultimately have to put their you could call it stamp, or you could call it consent. Then only marriage is supposed to take place. And that is also established by law also, because of late the law is also very clear in this regard, actually.
Yes. I've also read that not only, like you mentioned, not only the religion, the caste, or the culture, another huge factor regarding the arranged marriage is horoscope.
Well, yes. Horoscope is probably because, talking about, because majority of people are Hindu, yes, they look at horoscope. Horoscope is one aspect. They try to match what the star says, what the astronomy says. But of late, this is a factor. This is a factor, and they do match horoscope, especially since we're talking arranged marriage. Do it that way. That is there. That is there. If I've come to know about places where the marriage did not take place because the horoscope did not match, actually. So that is there. That is there in the cities as well, not only limited to the countryside or rural areas. That is there, especially in arranged marriage.
Yes, because they say this is mostly common with the Christian. But I've got. That's why I'm like I'm kind of confused.
No, it is common in Hindus also. I mean, because
the Hindus, yes.
Yeah, it is there actually. This is a fact actually, and and now there's another practice also with like, unfortunately, in case the horoscope does not match, then they perform certain ritual to get that horoscope in right perspective. There's certain rituals are performed actually. Religious rituals are performed.
Yes.
For example, if they found a suitable match and everything is fine, but ultimately horoscope becomes a hurdle. So what they do is they perform some sort of a ritual to get those stars speak the right language. To put it this way.
Yeah, they could the astrology, and they're known as Guna Milat or Ashtakot Milan. And did I pronounce it right?
Yes, I mean, that's on the line, yes, horoscope, because horoscope is one important aspect, yes, in India, actually, I can put it. Horoscope, there's a firm belief in horoscope, and that is then the arranged marriage.
That's how they actually partner their children. They match them up on the arranged marriage. Once they actually get married, what is actually expected of the young lady? Because from what I understand, the fellows just go on working and performing and even marry. Is this a fact? They actually have a second and third marriage?
Polygamy is polygamy is not there actually in India. Actually, polygamy is not allowed in this thing because the different by law actually 1956 Hindu Marriage Act and the Muslim Marriage Difference Act actually are there. Well, as far as you asked me about marriages, in the sense that all the modalities are discussed in an arranged marriage beforehand actually. Because both the families sit down across the table along with the bride and groom, so all the modalities are discussed at length before.
Okay, but is it the same for the male as the female? Because from what I've seen in movies and from the information I collected, it's more like the arranged marriage, the girl stays at home, she has to clean the house, she has to perform the job, she has to have
I told you
sex
what you've watched in a marriage. You must be seeing some of the old movies in India, Bollywood, all right? But of late, I'm telling you, at the contemporary age, I mean, the household wives, I would suggest you to watch some contemporary movies. Your perspective may change.
Well, some of the movies that I have.
Yes, yes, you want to say something? Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam.
Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. That's a lovely movie. That's a movie.
I mean, it's old, but it's basically,
Now coming back to your question. Yes. I'll put that also in perspective. The vibe. No, it's not that. It's always by choice. These days. Let me put it this way also. Of late, Indian traditions were joint family tradition going by primitive age. But with the advent of urbanization, with development, we're moving towards a nuclear family where the bride and bridegroom wish to lead their separate life. I mean, more of a, you could call it, from a joint family to a nuclear family, they're moving. And in that case, of late, it's found that the husband and wife both believe in working both on equal terms. And excelling in their own disciplines. So those, when you're talking about those that the ladies to take care of the house, this is generally these things were quite prominent in the joint family. Because joint family, if you go by the Vedic culture, excuse me, Aryan culture actually, when Aryans came to India, joint family was the crux of the society in primitive time. When I'm talking time when the Aryans came to India, there's also a lot of theory. I'll not go into that because William Jones and other people have said how Aryans came to India. But when Aryans came to India, it was basically a rural-based society in those days. So when it was a rural-based society, joint family was supposed to be the main unit of the society. So, but with with changing time, and we're moving towards from urbanization to with the different modes developing, at this point, majority of families are nuclear family where the wife and the husband both work actually, and they actually excel in their own discipline and they complement each other. Let's put it this way.
Nice. Thank you. So in the 21st century, how would you rate, or not so much rate, like now in the 21st century, is it much easier for the elders to accept what the 21st century has brought? Have you guys, and especially in your country, because from what I know, there are other countries that are still going through this, which is China, Pakistan, Japan,
the traditional
Israel.
The traditional laws, you
Israel,
mean? A lot of countries still held on to it.
Well, I'll just put one thing into perspective, actually, talking about marriages. In India also, like we have this 1956 Marriage Act and other acts. These marriage acts are not applicable to certain tribal belt or tribal area. We call it Janjati area in Hindi. Why? Because there it is believed, and they're not even allowed to marry outside their caste or culture, because it is believed in those tribal areas that you're going to lose your original identity of your caste. So there's a lot of protection given. But of late, there have been movements going on that those should also change actually. So this is the fact. But generally, on the whole, the majority part of India, there is an open society. It's an open culture. Synthesis of culture and fusion take place.
Okay, so I understood you said before that it has to be a man and a woman. What happens if it's a same-sex marriage? Like if they marry somewhere else and they come and they want to visit their family in their country, and they have announced that they have a same-sex marriage, does something happen? Like, can you shed some light?
Sorry, I couldn't get it.
Can you shed some light on same-sex
Okay,
marriage?
Dr. Gary. She's basically asking you about the same-sex marriage. Let's say, for example,
that's a subjudice matter in Indian Supreme Court. Actually, the last government under the Home Minister gave his perspective, but that matter is because there is actually the matter is pending in the court actually, because some people have actually, to be very frankly, people this is by nature such marriages are not actually viable. Actually, let's put it this way, going by nature. So that is there's a case pending in the highest court of the land actually, where the Supreme Court of India has to, if talking of India, Supreme Court has to announce a judgment on that. This was allowed by the High Court, but there has been a stay on the same-sex marriage in India actually by Supreme Court.
Are they disowned by their family once their family finds out that they have married?
But that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, that is not prominent in India actually. Such kind of marriages are not prominent in India.
No. But what I'm saying, if they get married somewhere else, let's say they get married somewhere else, and then they come to visit, and their family find out that, living in the 21st century, like you said, a lot of stuff has changed. And for example, they married the same sex, and they come home to visit, and their family finds out that they got married to the same sex.
Well, that's not acceptance. But that's something since the matter is in Supreme Court, because socially it's not accepted in India actually, and there's a lot of movement going on. So the matter is sub judice, and planning. It was allowed by the previous government, the government that was which was ruling India from 2004 to 2014. There have been affidavit filed by this government, and the matter has been now, I think, under consideration by the Supreme Court. And socially also, this is not accepted and quite common in India, actually.
Okay,
So definitely,
the question is,
sorry.
The question is, does the family disown them because of their choice of partner?
Well, family, generally, the society is disown them. Families, so obviously, family is part of it, and the society disown them. But let me put it this way: these sorts of marriage are not accepted in the Indian subcontinent. I'm not talking about India only, because I've been talking to people there. These marriages are obviously in Islamic countries. There's a closed society. Now they've also changed of late, actually. But on the whole, talking about Indian subcontinent, these marriages are not accepted in society, actually.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. And even in the 21st century,
yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
The Supreme Court is the Constitution bench of the Supreme Court.
Definitely, you guys have zero tolerance with homosexuality. I mean, they have it, but it's very much on the down low.
Yeah, I know, because in Jamaica it's the same thing. They have to have it. Being gay is a taboo. Or getting married, is a taboo.
Well, I think this is something all over the world. Any part of the world you go to, I mean, it's a taboo.
Yes, it's not legal.
But it is not legal also in India. Let's put it at this moment. This is also not legal in India.
Exactly. So it's
so even if they do go someplace else and get married, it's not accepted in a country that it's not legal in.
It's not legally. Yes. So in other words,
I think we got Jose want to weigh in on something as well. Maybe we can give Jose a chance to weigh in.
Jose
has some
give
questions.
him a chance to weigh in.
Hello, yes. Good evening, doctor. How you doing today?
Fine, thank you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. My question was to follow up on something of what Cucumber asked a little earlier, and it's the part about the love and the intimacy of the partnership. Now, from my understanding, really, years back, I don't know how it may be now, but years back, the bigger concern in arranging the marriage was really the financial aspect of the relationship, because the family was more concerned about the female being well off, making sure she had a partner that was well off, that was going to take care of her. It wasn't so much concern in the love, because really, when you arrange a marriage and two individuals don't know each other, there can't really be any love there until maybe later on, hopefully,
there's no connection.
They do fall in love.
There's no connection.
Right. Maybe later on they might fall in love after the marriage, maybe. But the main concern was not that. The main concern was the financial aspect, for them being well off, and the family can maintain money and for them to be rich. Am I right or am I wrong in that?
Absolutely. I would agree with you, Jose.
What he's actually trying, he's asking whether the girl is married. If I'm correct, sorry, if I could gather from your voice note, is that from your speech, that you're asking that whether the husband is sufficient to take care, financially sufficient to take care of.
No, basically what he's saying, with a lot of these arranged marriages and stuff like that, when a father give his daughter away, it's basically because of the financial reason. Because if these two individuals, the male and the female, they don't, sometimes they don't even know each other. Perhaps maybe the boy probably may come from a different village and the girl may come from a different village, and sometimes maybe the two fathers, they are friends, and basically, okay, I might be in a financial situation, possibly 9 times out of 10 sometimes these family are poor, and the person who sometimes they actually give their daughter to, perhaps they have money and stuff like this. So basically what Jose is saying, a lot of time these two individuals don't know each other, the person they're going to be married, and a lot of time it's all about the finance. They can't really love each other because they don't know each other.
Well, let's be very frank. In arranged marriage, nobody, both of them whether financially or not financially, let's put the first this question into perspective. They don't know each other when it comes to arranged marriage. It's a post-love, actually, you could call it this way, because you hardly meet from and then. But nowadays things have changed because people try to get information, meet each other. So the finance, yes, what he's saying, these things are quite prominent in the rural area. When I come to institution of marriage, let's demark one thing, sir. There is a demarcation in India when it comes to rural situation where caste is prominently still in the 21st century, I would say. In the rural areas, caste is quite prominent, financial status is prominent, and strictly interreligion is not allowed in the rural area. There have been isolated things have been changing, but let's now come to the urban area. The things have changed. Things have drastically changed. Where intercaste marriage, financially both are on equal terms. Generally they find it on equal terms. And caste, religion, culture, these are actually not at all.
It has changed or it's changing? So which one?
Sorry.
No, what I'm asking you, it has changed or it is changing?
Well, it has changed in urban area and it is in the process of changing in the rural areas. When I talk of marriage institution, let's demark ourselves that there is a demarcation. There's India, which calls our urban area, and there's a Bharat. Bharat, that's the Hindi version of that is the rural area. So there is a demarcation between the Bharat or a Hindustan, you call it, and India. The India is your more progressive rural urban area, and the Bharat or the Hindustan, where my good friend there spoke about, is in the process of progressing, actually, for changing. One, that India has changed and Bharat is changing. Let's put it this way.
Wow. Very informative.
So is he answering your question, Jose?
Yeah, more or less. My next question was, now, if the marriage does not work, right? What is the rule or the law on divorce? Is that permitted? And let's say it doesn't work, but if there's some kind of cheating on either side, so somebody goes another way, what is the law on that? As far as divorcing, or if one of them commits adultery, what's the law on that?
Well, the law is very clear. There are different laws. Like for Hindu marriage, there's a 1956 Hindu Marriage Act. There's a provision for divorce. Both of them either go for a mutual divorce or can contest. And after that, there is also maintenance given to the girl to contest the case. There's a lot of protection for the girl when it comes to, by law, that she's given a maintenance to even fight a case. So when there, and in actually in the Muslim, that's governed by personal law, actually, when it comes to, because we don't have uniform civil code in India at this moment. So because marriage is actually religion based, let's put it this way. I told a Hindu, as far as a Muslim is concerned, they go by personal law board where the meher and all that is given. I think most of you must be knowing when a girl is married in a Muslim. In a Hindu, it's a dowry, they call it. Dahej, you call it. In Muslim, it's called meher. That is called. That's two different aspects and dimensions I'm talking. Dowry is given by a girl's family and meher is a different issue, actually. But since by law, Hindu Marriage Act is 1956, and as for talking of India, I'm specifically talking of, let's put it into perspective, especially talking of India, and as far as Muslim is concerned, it's a social contract, actually. And it's governed by Muslim law, actually. They call it now, there is called triple talaq. Now, of late, the Parliament of India has passed a bill called, this is between the Muslim, if the marriage takes between both of them are Muslim, actually. Then it's not that you say talaq, and the talaq happens. It has to be, that has been actually turned down by the Parliament of India of late, actually. This is the reforms which have taken. There have been some Muslim women who've been talking about this, because generally in the Muslim society, the word talaq was used with a man and speaks 3 times talaq, and the girl is actually asked to leave, actually. But that has changed in India. Of late, this was a historic step, although there was some reservation by some Muslims of late clerics by this. But nevertheless, the majority of the Muslim community are of the view that this is a rightful step actually, and of late the Parliament of India has passed. As far as the Hindu marriage is concerned, there's a lot of provision. Specifically, it's put down in the letters that divorce can be sought, and there are different grounds, and ultimately there is LMI also given. So the different and the Special Marriage Act also. The Special Marriage Act is applicable when the marriage takes place between if the one person is Hindu or other person is Christian or one is they're not of same religion. So there's another act called Special Marriage Act. So that takes place. So the law is very much clear on this actually. Law is absolutely clear, and but of late, because I'm stressing this on triple talaq issue, because there have been a lot of hue and cry in India that why this law was. Some of the Muslim clerics were up in arms that this law, but ultimately this is a wonderful step by the Parliament of India that now just speaking 3 times talaq cannot be amount to a criminal offense and cannot be taken as talaq. Because you know why? Many of the Muslim countries who are actually official theological state, like Islamic countries, have also struck down these stringent practices. So as a reform here, of late, the Parliament of India has passed this and triple talaq, etc. as well also.
I would like to add to Jose's question. What happened if the woman chosen for that man in the arranged marriage, she can reproduce? What happens in that case?
Sorry, couldn't get it.
If she can't have children, the girl that was chosen in the arranged marriage for that fellow, if she can't, reproduce, if she can't come out pregnant, what happens then?
Well, the maintenance of a child is also given. There is there. There are different laws. Actually, I'll tell you what. Muslims are governed by personal law, and Hindus are governed by 1956 Marriage Act, and there's a Special Marriage Act. So there's a legal shield given to in a different scenario. The legal shield is there for Muslims. Unfortunately, that nowadays there's a talk of bringing around universal civil law code, which is actually a little contentious issue in India, where you have same law for every faith and religion. But that's a huge topic discussed for some other day. But uniform civil code means that all civil laws be applicable to all. But at this moment, these things are covered by an Hindu 1956 Act. In Muslim, it's a Muslim personal law board takes care of all this. And there's a Special Marriage Act as well.
But Dr. Gera, she's been reported in India for over the years and stuff like that. If a boy got married and stuff like that, what the family... One moment, let me get this thing down a little bit. Yeah, what the family basically will do, they will spread like a white bed sheet or something like that on the bed. Or they got to make sure this girl, she's a virgin. And if she's not a virgin, that means... their son definitely gonna is either divorce her or they're gonna expel her from the family. Can you shed some light on that? That traditional way.
Let me put it. That's what I'm saying. And let me put this way. We are actually trying to mix Bharat with India. Let's put it this way. Let's demark Bharat in India. When we talk of India urbanization, everything is discussed. All the modalities are discussed in arranged marriage beforehand. Because that's a developed state of part actually. What you're talking about, all these stuff, these are in the Bharat where it is it is progressing actually. So these problems are there, but let's demark it this way, that there is a demarcation when it comes to institution of marriage and all lots of issues attached to marriage when it comes to urban area, which I call it India, and the rural area, which I call it Bharat. With due respect to both the areas. So caste, all these stuff. Generally, there are no problems. Although there are problems are everywhere, you cannot avoid problems. But in urban areas, there is a there's a broad mind to understand problem, and specifically with the education, with awareness, with people treating on equal platform. But what you were talking was because Bharat. Bharat means when I'm talking about rural area, which is underdeveloped, which is developing. What you're saying, these sort of things happen there. There's most of because caste is prominently dominating there, religion is dominating there. So there are whole lots of issues there actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes to the hour of 10 p.m. That's Eastern Time. Are you listening to UBC Radio, the sound that binds us together? Continue, guys.
I just saw a documentary like about a few weeks ago where a couple, of course, she's of white, she's white, and he is from India, and they worked here in the United States. Of course, she was raised here, and he was raised with his traditional ways, but still coming to America, he met with this girl, and they fell in love. They got married, and they ended up going back to his country to live. She left her job here. They took his job over there, and she joined him over there. They were shaming him because she wore shorts. She had tattoos, but mind you, she came from here. She has various earrings and she wears makeup. She's not covering her face. She wears the spaghetti string shirts and she has her shorts. In other words, she's showing skin. So he's walking with her in the streets trying to buy and purchase, their goods in order to take it home. But they were talking about her and he took it to offense and he started fighting with these people in the streets because they were offending his wife. And his father still to today does not talk to him because he does not approve of the person that he married. The mother actually engulfed it somewhat, but every time they go to visit to the house, he's never home.
Well, yes, talking about, that's what I'm saying. Let's put it the quote unquote culture. You're talking about culture acceptance. Culture acceptance if there is a inter-region marriage, not inter-religion, inter-region marriage. That's what if I understand from what you're trying to ask me. Well, there are initially some problem, but then I'll still say in metropolitans like Mumbai, Delhi, I'm talking of India, these things have changed of late. There has marked shift in the urban area. There's broad understanding actually. I think let me invite you all to visit India and you'll see for yourself how India has changed and what picture of India you're carrying actually. Let me invite all of you to India and see how, because we focus on, it will be really honor to have you in India, people. So you can come and you can see for yourself how just spend some time in Mumbai, some can spend some time in Delhi, some spend in Chennai. Things have changed a whole lot actually. And whether I speak, I think if you could see for yourself, you'll really find what I'm saying is very into perspective. So it's better, the test of the pudding in the eating. So why don't you visit India? And so that will be really nice.
No, we have some co-workers that actually are from India, and we hear some wonderful things from India. But it's only that aspect of the arranged marriage.
What happened is there are flip sides everywhere. Good and bad are everywhere. Unfortunately, I'm not taking party of India. But the developing world's the flip side is always being highlighted to the developed world. Let's put it. But with due respect to everywhere. I'm not taking India, but yes. So off late, and I invite you all to visit India and just have a welcome stay, and you'll really love to be in India again.
Certainly we will. Well, you know what?
Yes,
I think definitely we need to wrap this section up right now because it's just about 10 minutes right now. We got also before the hour. So definitely.
So before you get, and let me take this opportunity to people who are listening around the world. I invite all of you to visit India, and you'll really love to. We people are from India, we're quite affectionate, and we welcome you with open arms. Whoever wish to visit India.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have our For better or for worse. Yes,
Anonymous
ma'am.
letter.
And then we're going to move on to Miss Cool Cucumber's kitchen. Woo, I can't wait for that. I'm hungry already.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What a wonderful topic. You're listening to UVC Radio, and this program is Extra Straight Talk. This is the sound that binds us together. Well, it's a special good evening, special good morning to all our Facebook listeners and whatever platform you guys are listening to us from right now. Once again, you're listening to UVC Radio, and this is Extra Straight Talk. So without further ado, let us go for a break and get into this, and we're going to be back.
Do you take this man for your lawful husband? Yes, I do. And do you take this lady for your lawful wife? Yes, I do. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring. She
You're listening to the greatest radio station on the planet. UVC Radio.
So take me to the church on time. But you me man, say if you think I'm sexy, your little girl reach out and touch me. If you really need me, your little girl reach out and tell me. And give me your loving, give me your loving. Don't forget about the all night squeezing. Don't forget about the hugging and teasing. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring. She have me yellow baby, and I'm gonna mind it. So take me to the church on time. But you me man, say on my way me I go a Barbican. On my way me I go a Barbican. Me buck up me wife when name Susan. Say lad me husband I beg you sing a love song. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, say honey, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. To me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Say that me wife is a part of me life. Me wife is a part of me life. Say some are married and some are divorced. Some of them are talk about married life to post. But tell you yellow man the girls them love the most. But when they come to my yellow man they can toast. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring. She have me yellow baby, and I'm gonna mind it. So take me to the church on time. But you me man, say that me are the husband, you are the wife. Me fry the chicken and you boil the rice. Me sweet like sugar and me nice like spice. They say that me have one good tone of vice, but this come to kill fatty leg and lies. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Well, if you're getting married tomorrow morning, congratulations to you and wish you all the best. You're listening to Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together. It's just a few minutes. Oh, man, I'm telling you this, man. Our time goes by rather quickly, yeah? So without further ado right now, let me go right ahead and bring back the panelists in the studio.
Welcome back. It was a very interesting topic. But as King Rocco said, We're getting close to the top of the hour, and we have to get to, for better or for worse, anonymous letter. Sunshine, what you got for us today?
Well, it's a very interesting story. I will read it briefly and we will get everyone's opinion very briefly because I am hungry. I don't know about you, Rocco, or about you, Jose, or about you, Doctor, but I am starving. So I want to get to that recipe.
I'm hungry too. So let's get into this right now.
Okay, our story of today goes like this. Hey there, Extra Straight Talk panel. I am a 37-year-old man with 3 kids. My son is 15 and my 2 daughters are 13 and 10. See, we were high school sweethearts. Before our kids came, we traveled a lot, did a lot of crazy stunts. We lived our life to the fullest. In one of these trips is where it all began. We got married, lived the married life, and then came our beautiful kids. I noticed that with the arrival of each child, she was distancing herself from us. I used to come home from work and she was hardly home. The kids was always asking where she was. By the time she came home, they were already in bed and asleep. They barely saw their mother anymore. This included me as well. One day I asked her what was going on. Why has everything changed? I asked her if she didn't love the kids or me anymore. And every time she would tell me, not now, she's very tired, and would just walk out. Our relationship was not the same. One day I saw what I thought was a dark spot on her left shoulder in her back. I asked her if she had hurt herself, and she said she didn't remember. For some reason, I didn't believe her. To make a long story short, you see, in one of these trips, like I said, is where it all started. She met someone and started having a secret affair. I decided to follow her one day and discovered them at a hotel. This broke my heart. I asked her to stop the affair. She made the decision of leaving her family for him. You see, this was 7 years ago. We got a divorce after that. The present time. Now my kids are older. I am currently in an awesome relationship. We love each other and living our best life. She has come back, claiming she wants her family back. She has manipulated my 2 younger kids. They started treating my current girlfriend badly. And no matter how much I talk to them or punish them for it, it doesn't work. I love my girlfriend, but she seems to be getting tired of this. I don't love my ex-wife, don't want her back, and my kids are taking it hard. Please advise me. Attentively. I guess he didn't put anything. He just said attentively. Does anyone have any advice for this?
That's kind of difficult. But that's kind of difficult. But I mean,
very subjective.
Left.
Very subjective.
So she left. So I mean, if he's in a relationship already and stuff like that, she can't get him back at least. But for her to have the children disrespect the new girlfriend, that's wrong. And he can't take her out of the children's life, but he can at least sit her down and tell her that she is not to manipulate her children to disrespect his girlfriend.
That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's easier said than done. Well, I think one thing, parents, whether it be the man or the woman, because you have different circumstances. At which point, one of the parents always tries to manipulate the children to use against the other one. Being man or the woman. I'm not going to say woman, even though a lot of time most of the women do that. But nevertheless, I think his thing is he's just got to be upfront, be hard, and talk to the woman because their relationship is dead, and from what he just said is dead. So his concentration now has just got to be the kids, and letting the kids know that even though he's with this new woman, he loves them and he's always going to be there for them. But their mother is out of their life, and their mother left, and whether they want to accept it or not, that's a fact of life. She's not going to be back in as far as that relationship is concerned. She could be in their life, them two, but not his. So, it's like they're going to have two families now. You're going to have him and his girlfriend and their mother on the other side. But, it's just, and then they need to understand they're a little older now, so they should have a little more understanding. And, hey, she left. It wasn't like he kicked her out. She chose to leave. Guess what? You asked, excuse my French.
I agree. I agree.
I agree with her.
And I agree with Jose. The kids eventually they're gonna finish growing up, and if he
they'll get over it.
And if he decides to actually lead this woman because she's manipulating the kids because she just wants to come back. Listen, you got to think about, why didn't you think about it before you actually made your decision and left? You should have thought about the family before you left. Now you want to come back and you say you want your family back. We're not categorized as your family. Sorry, that's not our subtitle anymore.
She probably got dumped by the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That relationship didn't work out.
Me as a man, if I was messing with you, you have your husband, and I'm messing with you, and you leave him for me, then I'm gonna have it in my mind that you could do the same thing to me. So that's not gonna be a real good relationship right there.
Yeah, he said it was 7 years ago, so that means he was 37 years ago. Because he's 37 now. So that happened 7 years ago. But the kids must have been very young. So they grew up without her. Where was she this whole time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll get over it. They were with her. They were when they really needed her when they were younger. She wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
So
eventually they'll grow out. They'll grow up. Yep.
Yeah, they'll get over it.
Yeah, they're good. My dukes, my man. Just make sure that you back up your current girlfriend. Give her all the support that she needs. And respect. And respect. Because in my eyes, unfortunately, it's a woman. She does not deserve anything coming from you. You tried at its time. She messed it up because it was her choice. I mean, we all have choices as grown-ups. She made hers. She made her bed. Now she needs to lay in it. And unfortunately, that she's been able to manipulate these two younger kids, but hopefully they will grow up and see the light and see the truth behind everything. And they will apologize to this other lady that has been in your life. And if you have educated these kids correctly, they will see the truth and they will apologize and they will redeem themselves in front of this other lady. That's just my advice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, it's 3 minutes after the hour. Unfortunately we have to wrap this one up. And fortunately and yay, we going into Cool Cucumber's kitchen. Is anybody excited just like me?
Broadcasting live. This is the sound that binds us together on UVC Radio. Located on the web at www.unitedvisionconnect.org/radio.
Lemon pepper chicken.
Ooh.
Love lemon pepper chicken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, too bad Yudali's not here. She's going to miss that
yummy,
one.
isn't it?
Yes, we're going to have to put
Come on, take it off, man. I'm hungry right now.
Go ahead.
Let's get into this.
6 boneless chicken breasts, 1 teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon chili pepper, 1 teaspoon cornstarch, 1 cup of water, 2 large lemons, 1 small onion chopped fine, 2 sticks butter, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt. Trim chicken fat off the quarter breast. Melt 1/2 stick of butter in frying pan. Add pepper, salt, and onions. Marinate breast in lemon juice for about an hour. Fry in butter, salt and pepper, and onion on high heat, approximately 3 minutes. Sprinkle with chili pepper, then turn on low simmer and add lemon juice, sugar, salt, and juice remaining butter. Cook approximately 15 minutes. Mix water and cornstarch. Add to butter sauce until slightly thick. And it's done.
Ooh, boy, you really missed. Woo!
I'm going to have to send it to her.
I'm tasting it already, especially the lemon part.
I think Jose would love to eat Udally share right now. What do you say, Jose? You'd like to take that one out. So Udally, if you're listening right now, Jose going to take all your food.
He's gonna take over. He's going to take over. He'll ship it to her. Well, she hasn't gotten him those tickets, so I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Since Udally's absent, my wife is here with me. Me and her will eat it.
Hi, sister-in-law. Hola, mi cuñada. ¿Cómo está?
Hola.
Hola, hola.
Hola, hola.
Well, guys, it's been an interesting subject regarding our kitchen. Our recipe for today has been an interesting topic. Thank you, Dr. Ganesh, for visiting us and being with us. Thank you, Cool Cucumber, for hosting. Thank you, Jose, brother mine. Gracias, mi cuñada. And thank you, Rocco, for producing this program today. And thank you to all our Facebook listeners for sticking with us on our first Extra Straight Talk segment. Yes, Facebook Live. And thank you for our regular listeners. Take it over, Cucumber.
Thank you, Dr. Garris, for
pleasure.
Thank you, Dr. Garris, for enlightening us on arranged marriages and letting us know, that it's not always what we see in the movies and hear about in media and stuff like that. I want to thank you for that. I appreciate that. And as always, we thank King Rocco for producing. We thank Jose for always dropping in. And thank you for his wife for being there tonight. And our Facebook Live listeners and our UVC radio listeners. Thank everybody for being there and supporting us.
Yes.
All have a blessed week.
Yes. We love you guys, even though we don't see you face. But we love you. We love you.
Good night.
Take it away, King Rocco.
Take it away.
All right, you've been listening to another wonderful program of Extra Straight Talk right here on UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together. Appreciate each and every one of you on Facebook and different platforms that have been listening to us tonight. Join us next week, Wednesday, God willing, for another program of Extra Straight Talk. But in the meantime, between time, join Spice tomorrow morning for the morning mix, and join me tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. for the Ultimate Throwback Thursday. And then right after that, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you can join the musicologist DJ Randy out of Mauritius for The Secret Garden. So long. Love you guys. Peace.
You're listening to UVC Radio, the sound that binds us together.
Whatever you